That's new right there, Parky. That's new. Yeah, it's new. No update to this app. Why is a new thing? Why didn't that before? I don't understand that. Put the key one way, it doesn't work. Yeah. No difference between. Oh, it isn't. The fuck? Why is the key working?
Former President Trump, Brian Shook, has more. McCarthy accused Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg of weaponizing the country's sacred system of justice against Trump. McCarthy also tweeted, "The American people will not tolerate this injustice." He did not comment about any specific action Congress might take, but did add the House of Representatives will hold Alvin Bragg and his unprecedented abuse of power to account. I'm Julius White on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Black news all day, every day.
The power of information. The Bay Area's BIN 910. Sports on the Black Information Network. With less than a half dozen games left on the NBA regular season schedule, some teams are playing as if the playoffs have already started. The Bucks.
To veteran. You've seen a lot. We're going to learn more after the break. The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I'm Corey, and this is my story. I was going through some financial troubles paying off my credit cards. I was paying high interest rates, and it just wasn't getting any better. And I knew I had to do something. So my mom told me about Trinity, and so I decided...
You were locked in. You got to continue to build on that.
The 76ers over the Mavs, 116-108. The Lakers cruised to victory over the Bulls, 121-110. It was a high-scoring affair, but the Clippers prevailed, beating the Grizzlies, 141-132.
Allowed them to get some looks. They shot the ball great. All that they did tonight was right there.
Grizzlies guard Ja Morant
Was, pretty much me, just trying to be out there and, help us, come out with a win. A little fatigue, later in the game, but it's, a good one to have, my first, minutes like that, under my belt now.
The Thunder squeaked by the Pistons, 107-106. The Jazz over the Spurs, 128-117. The young Sacramento Kings continue to impress, beating the Portland Trail Blazers 120-80. The Suns over the Timberwolves 107-100. Suns forward Kevin Durant scored 16 points after returning from injury.
It was hard for me to stop thinking about the game, and sometimes you can want it too bad, and you come out there and play like, you start rushing and start being uncharacteristic.
Get your sports at 14 and 44 past each and every hour. I'm Ray Harris on the Black Information Network.
This is Weston Tishome with another essential black film. What started as a suggestion from Maya Angelou to the government of Ghana ended with an Independence Day concert on March 6, 1971, featuring Wilson Pickett, Ike and Tina Turner, Les McCann and Eddie Harris, the Staple Singers, Santana featuring Willie Bobo, Roberta Flack, and the voices of East Harlem. The movie Soul to Soul not only captures performances from these iconic artists, but their personal journey connecting to their roots, ancestral homeland, and history. Transformational for many of the artists whose only understanding of Africa came from Hollywood tropes, but also for the country of Ghana that would experience Western music firsthand for the first time. Soul to Soul captures artist and audience united by a history of oppression and music used to overcome it, making it another essential film. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network.
Staying informed has never been easier. Tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network station on iHeartRadio. Entertainment news on the Black Information Network.
A new documentary is taking Jay Dilla fans through his life. The film, titled The Legacy of Jay Dilla, will explore his rise to hip-hop fame and the struggle for control over his legacy. His family says they were involved throughout the process of this documentary, so you will get some real insight show, Knew Him Best. It's set to premiere on Hulu and FX on April 7th. Jay Dilla passed away in 2006 from cardiac arrest. And BET is collaborating with iHeartMedia to air the syndicated morning show, The Breakfast Club. Congrats are in order for DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God. They made the announcement on air, and the radio show will now be airing on television beginning April 17th. It'll be a 1-hour edition of the show that will also be available on BET Plus and VH1. The morning show that is based in New York is syndicated in more than 90 markets across the country. And some good news is on the horizon for TV journalist Gayle King. Radar Online is reporting that she is on track to allegedly be the highest paid employee ever at CBS.
points from 2019 before the pandemic began. Hollywood studio executives responded by saying that the industry is focusing on more familiar storylines due to the, quote, uncertainty of the industry that occurred during the pandemic. There's a silver lining. Top movies streamed saw more black actors in leading roles.
And finally, with all the talk around reparations, the Wall Street Journal reports the U.S. Census Bureau could possibly ask Americans if they're direct descendants of enslaved Africans on their next survey. Some black Americans have argued that there needs to be more definitive questions surrounding race, particularly since there's been an uptick of African immigrants living in the U.S. Duke University researchers conducted a study that found black descendants of slaves in the U.S. struggle to achieve with education and, of course, wealth. I'm Doug Davis, along with Esther Dillard, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Black journalism at work.
Because truth matters. The Bay Area's PIN 910.
Your money on the Black Information Network. If you received unemployment benefits in 2022, that money will be subject to income taxes. CPA Brian Connick says the IRS treats your unemployment payments like any other regular income, and you must include that income on your tax return.
The government views it the same as any other income you get if you were a W-2 earner or had any other form of income. They still want their chunk of your taxes.
How much you'll pay at the state level, if anything at all, depends on where you live.
The state level, it depends on where you live and what state you're in. And most states will tax the unemployment benefits as well. There are a number of states that don't levy income taxes, so it won't be subject in those states.
Connick says it's a good idea to have taxes withheld from your weekly benefits, but you must opt in when you apply for unemployment. They cover your taxes, or at least ensure you're not faced with a potentially huge bill at tax time. If you can't afford to pay the tax due, you can request an installment agreement from the IRS.
They'll include the penalties and the interest for kind of delayed payment in there. It'll be a smaller payment over 5 years rather than having to pay it all up front.
You should also check with your accountant to see how unemployment benefits may impact other tax benefits, such as tax credits. Money news at 24 and 54 minutes past each hour. I'm Julius White on the Black Information Network. When you need to know,
This is where black news comes first.
the Bay Area PIN 910.
I'm Esther Dillard.
And I'm Doug Davis on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Florida residents will now be able to carry concealed guns without a permit. Lawmakers passed the bill, which is on its way to Governor Ron DeSantis' desk, with a vote of 27 to 13. Critics and supporters told NBC News their thoughts, given the recent shooting in Nashville, Tennessee.
We have to do a lot more to ensure that whoever's going to carry a gun is going to be not a person like the woman who gunned down these children, which had super mental health problems.
We are already allowed to carry guns. This is just something that is basically taking away the permission slip.
The Republican majority voted down Democrats' amendments like background checks for private sales of guns and stiffer penalties for not storing weapons safely.
Meantime, the Florida chapters of the NAACP have warned black people not to move or to visit Florida, and they're asking the National NAACP organization to issue a travel advisory.
This is no means and no way a start.
Daniela Pierre, president of the NAACP Miami-Dade chapter, told NBC Miami it's because of the state's aggressive legislation against African-American studies. The group reports the organization also has added concerns that the education bill may roll over into socioeconomic legislation affecting black people.
It's being called Task Force Amory. That's a volunteer collection effort in North Texas for victims of the tornadoes that ripped through homes in Mississippi. Hundreds of people lost everything. NBC Dallas-Fort Worth reports a donor paid for a 26-foot Ryder truck for the Veterans Resource Outreach Center, challenging organizers to fill it with donations. If they do, they'll donate a second truck. So far, organizers say they're looking for things like baby food, diapers, Gatorade, tarps, tools, buckets, and more.
And finally, two black women who run a Detroit, Michigan state land rink are teaming up with Project Greenlight to make sure kids are safe. It's a community policing effort aimed at improving neighborhood safety. They often say daily they have a police car parked out front. The city says as of now, they have more than 800 local businesses as Project Greenlight partners.
I'm Esther Esther Dillard, along with Doug Davis, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Now here's Morgan Wood with your Healthy Minute. Many veterans are already dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD for short. But a new study is taking a look at how being exposed to blasts during military service can have long-lasting health effects on veterans. More than 130,000 veterans were surveyed as a part of the Millennium Cohort Study, which looked at service members who were exposed to a variety of explosive materials. One of the researchers, Dr. Jennifer Belding, told KGTV the study went beyond the brain and found 45 different health conditions associated with the exposure of blasts, including lupus and asthma. The study is now looking for military spouses to participate in its next round of research. That's your Healthy Minute. I'm Morgan Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Isabel Sanford's role as Louise Wheezy Jefferson made her a household name, and on September 13, 1981, she made history. She became the first black woman to win the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, and just the second black woman to win an Emmy of any kind.
See, I've waited so long, all my humility is just gone.
Isabel Sanford was born Eloise Gwendolyn Sanford on August 29, 1917 in Harlem, New York. She worked as a stage actress out of high school, relocating to California with her 3 children after a divorce. Isabel Sanford made her Broadway debut in 1965 in James Baldwin's The Amen Corner, which later led to Norman Lear casting her in All in the Family. The Jeffersons was a spin-off show that debuted in 1975, starring alongside Sherman Hemsley as George Jefferson in the role. Isabel Sanford was nominated 5 times for the Golden Globe Awards and 7 times for the Emmys. Sadly, Isabel Sanford passed in 2004. I'm Weston Tishome for the Black Information Network. 9:10 a.m. KKSF, Oakland, the Black Information Network.
Tell your smart device to play Bay Area's BIN 910 on iHeartRadio.
I'm Carrie McCready.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. The entire NYPD is being told to dress in uniforms and be at the ready. Never before have we seen a former president to be criminally indicted in the United States. Reports say a grand jury voted to indict Trump for his role in paying hush money to an adult film actress. The typical scenario would be for Trump to surrender at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. There are extra police on site. At that point, he would be processed, fingerprinted, and his mugshot would be taken. As of now, there's no exact timing on when the processing would take place.
More details are unfolding about a mass shooting inside a private Christian school in Nashville, Tennessee. A former police officer who provided active shooter training at the school said quick-thinking teachers saved lives by locking down classrooms. The shooter fired multiple rounds into several classrooms, but didn't strike any students there because the teachers knew how to fortify doors and where to safely place students in those rooms. Victims of the massacre are being remembered.
Our heart is broken. Our city united as we mourn together.
Mayor John Cooper and First Lady Jill Biden among a group of mourners attending a candlelight vigil at a public park in Tennessee's capital. Cooper calling the deadly shooting at the Covenant School the city's worst day and had a message for first responders.
Our city and our whole nation is so proud of you. Your service inspires all of us. You are our heroes. Your bravery will never be forgotten.
Nashville's Black Police Chief John Drake calling on the city to come together.
An extreme tragedy, and this is certainly one. Nashville comes together like no other place to comfort those who have suffered an unspeakable loss.
All of the victims who were struck by gunfire had been in an open area or hallway.
7 California Highway Patrol officers have been charged with involuntary manslaughter about 3 years after the in-custody death of a man who was pulled over for a traffic stop in Los Angeles County. 38-year-old Edward Bronstein uttered repeatedly that he couldn't breathe before losing consciousness while officers attempted to take a blood sample. Bronstein was pulled over by police on the Vine Freeway in Burbank for suspicion of driving under the influence and was taken into custody. Prosecutors say the officers forced Bronstein to the ground, handcuffed, while pressing their knees on his legs and neck. They say the officers attempted CPR for 13 minutes after Bronstein became unresponsive.
California Senator Stephen Bradford is proposing a bill to create an ebony alert system for missing black women, girls, and youth. Similar